Hello, I'm Anthony, and today I'm going to help you learn how to use the resin 3D printer. Let's get started. Okay, so a few things to keep in mind when you're resin 3D printing. Make sure that when you start, you examine the tank and make sure that it's filled with resin, it is clean and free of debris. If you do happen to see some debris, make sure you use the 3D printed comb to comb out the section. First things first, you want to turn on the printer. All you have to do in order to turn it on is to come over here and depress the button one time, then it turns on. After you turn the printer on, go ahead and flip the lid and inspect the tank. Take off the black lid and verify that there is resin in the tank. If there is resin in the tank, simply make sure that there's no floating objects by taking a look and making sure. If you do happen to see a floating object, like just some random resin, just take the 3D printed comb and comb through the resin tank. Remember, never mix different types of resin together. That will damage the bowl and cost a lot of money to replace.
Alrighty, to get started, we are going to open up Google Chrome and we will head to thingiverse.com. That is thingiverse.com, and we'll find a in any kind of object that we want to print. I actually already found an object over here, this fidget spinner. So I'm going to press download all files, and then I'm going to come over here to the preform, and I'm going to click exit out on the quality. We have the Form 1 Plus, so select that, and this time around I'm actually using the clear filament, the clear resin. So it is clear version 2, and I'm going to take 0.1 layer thickness. Now I'm going to apply. Now, back in Google Chrome, I'm actually going to come over here, click on the little triangle, show in folder. I'm going to select, and I'm going to extract. That's fine. And then I'm going to exit out here. I'll come back to my preform software, and I will open up, and I'm going to find my fidget spinner. So over here in the downloads, there's my offset fidget spinner. I'm going to click on files, spinner off, and that's what I want. Okay, so now I'm going to click on my fidget spinner. I'm going to come over here to one-click print. This looks good. And one-click print does everything for you. It orientates your object. It generates supports, and it gives you the correct layout. Now all I have to do is press send to printer. And right now what the printer is doing is it is uploading what the computer is doing is that it is uploading the software onto the 3D printer so that it can design, so it can print off what we need. Okay. Now the part will print upside down, and you absolutely cannot leave it like at all. No one can leave. If you're printing with a resin printer, you cannot leave the room, because what does happen is sometimes the printer will fail, and the part will come off, or it will separate entirely and fall into the actual tank. And when that happens, it has the potential to destroy the tank and cost thousands of dollars to replace. So we need everyone to just stay in the room and just watch the printer. Because if that happens, we want you to react very quickly so we can save our printer. Okay. And if a piece does happen to fall into the resin tank, just hold down the power button for 5 seconds to cancel the printing. When the print is ready to begin, just confirm by pressing the button on your printer, which is in the very front.
It's also really good to just shake it up a little bit, just to make sure that any of the like little flakes have come off. Okay. Okay, and it is important, it's important not to leave your resin prints in for too long, or else it can disintegrate. So we really don't recommend going any time above 30 minutes, because yeah, it can disintegrate if you leave it in for too long.